If there's one community that I can point to that is home to some of the most passionate and awe-inspiring fan creations that I have ever seen, it'd be Undertale. But a close second would be Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? The amount of fan games, fan comics, fan fiction, and overall fan passion that comes from the Sonic fandom is breathtaking. I have seen some of the most ambitious, talented artists, VAs, game designers, and writers who blend a clear love for their craft along with their clear love and passion for the Sonic the Hedgehog series, and use that unbridled artistry to create some magnificent projects. But in my opinion, one of, if not the best Sonic fan projects I have ever seen is Sonic and Tails R, a audio drama created by Emy Jones. Emy Jones is a prominent figurehead in the Sonic community that many of you may already be familiar with, but in case you aren't, she is known for her incredible music covers, making acoustic versions of many Sonic songs. And Sonic and Tails R was arguably her magnum opus. Want me to go into more detail? Well, I will. But before we do, be sure to leave a like on this video if you do enjoy, and subscribe for more Sonic content. I upload pretty frequently. With that said, let me just have the pleasure of raving to you about Sonic and Tails R, and hopefully by the end of this, if you haven't already, I will convince you to go give it a watch. So I think the best place to start, because there's a lot of stuff to get into here, but let's talk about the immaculate production quality. In case some of you are not familiar with what an audio drama is, basically, it's a regular story with regular performances and regular action, etc. Except it is primarily an audio experience, meaning you have to rely on dialogue and sound effects to understand what's going on. Think of an interactive podcast, if that makes sense. Now, it can be very tricky telling a story in this format because obviously without the help of visual aid, communicating what's happening in a natural and authentic way to the viewer without over-relying on exposition dumps or, God forbid, narration can be quite tricky. However, Sonic and Tails R fully thrives on this front, with the first of its many feats being the perfect audio mixing. Whether it be sound effects, voice lines, music, everything is blended together in a way that just feels official. Speaking of which, the sound effects use the music, a lot of which was originally composed by Emy Jones and her team themselves. And so much more really does elevate this production and make it, like I said, not necessarily even feel fan-made. This feels like a official podfic that Sonic team would be involved with. But even that's not the biggest draw of Sonic and Tails R. Even if you have a very vague recollection of what this audio drama even is, there's a likely chance you've heard of it because of one of its major accomplishments, and that is getting a lot of former Sonic VAs on board for it. Hold on to your seats, alright? Sonic and Tails R features Ryan Drummond as Sonic the Hedgehog, Mike Pollock as Dr. Eggman, Lisa Ortiz as Amy Rose, Jason Griffith as Shadow, and Pete Capella as Silver. Kid you not? I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not trying to oversell how awesome this is, but in my personal opinion, this is literally just the dream Sonic cast for me. These are some of the best voices these characters have ever had combined in one story. I find it insane how Emy even had the connections to make something like this possible. But yeah, hearing a lot of these returning voices for the first time in a decade is just insane. A lot of you will know that I'm not really the biggest fan of the modern cast, even though a lot of the newer VAs are indeed talented individuals. So hearing from the old English cast was a real treat. And they still have it in them. They still have it in them to play these characters all these years later. In fact, in some cases, like Ryan Drummond as Sonic and Jason Griffith as Shadow, they sound even better than they did all those years ago. Also, Emy Jones plays Tails. And I kid you not, I wish Emy Jones could play Tails officially because she does a phenomenal job. So yeah, I just wanted to get all the production pros out of the way. The everything on a technical level is just astonishing. But now let's get into what actually matters, you know, the heart of a project like this, that being the story. I won't go too in detail here because obviously the main point of this video is convincing you to watch the audio drama. Is watch the right term? I think listen would be more appropriate. But this adventure starts out with your typical affair. You have Eggman who's launching this uncharacteristically direct assault on Sonic, who then tries to extract the emeralds out of him, and what it instead does is it shatters the emeralds and basically corrupts them. And so now you have your typical emerald hunting affair where each episode, the dynamic duo are getting closer and closer to collecting all 7. Meanwhile, they come across many familiar faces, Silver, Shadow, Amy, etc. All in an effort to stop Dr. Eggman's nefarious scheme and get the emeralds before he does and see if they can possibly fix them. I really do like the concept of corrupted chaos emeralds and Eggman even further bastardizing their power and their purity because, you know, a lot of the themes of Sonic the Hedgehog is nature versus technology. And not only is that represented here, but there's a moment in episode 1 where while Eggman is trying to extract the emeralds from Sonic, he asks,
"Let's see what's stronger, Sonic. My genius or your willpower?"
And that line right there pretty much could unironically exemplify the entire Sonic series. You have someone who, by all metrics, should be able to achieve his goals of accomplishing the world. He has the resources, he has the intellect, he has the power, but in opposition of that is this pure-hearted force of nature. And I really do like that. I just think it's nice to see thematic storytelling in a fan project like this. And of course, this would not be a Sonic glazing video if I did not talk about characterization. Emy Jones, she gets it, okay? She gets it. While the way these characters are portrayed here aren't exactly one-to-one to the games in some instances, such as Sonic and Shadow specifically, they are still nailed to a T here. Everyone else even more so. And of course, you get a lot of fun banter, a lot of fun dialogue, and a lot of cool callbacks to previous stories. If you want to experience a Sonic fan story where the characters act like the characters, which is very rare, this won't disappoint. However, what is the heart of this story? What is the main drive? Well, again, not going to detail, but the main focus of this story is Tails. It's kind of a coming-of-age story for our favorite intellectual fox. That, interestingly enough, really does carry over a lot of what he went through in the previous games. Tails has talked the talk, but he has yet to walk the walk. He has proven that he can save the day by himself, and he doesn't always have to rely on his best friend, but at the same time, he's never really gotten the full confidence to really go out on his own and deviate from Sonic. And that's what this story is. It's really just one big coming-of-age narrative that does end with a super transformation. And I just want to geek out about this too because I like how Emy understands that the whole point of a super transformation is supposed to be a physical accumulation of everything the story was leading to. It can either be a theme or a character arc, etc. It's not just, oh, someone powers up to look cool. It's supposed to have a deeper narrative meaning. And this being the first time Tails has gone super, according to, you know, the narrative's canon, really does embody that really well. Not really a long video, but I mean, guys, I had to geek out about Sonic and Tails art at some point on this channel. I remember coming across this audio drama, and at the time, I wasn't really familiar with what audio dramas were, and so I wasn't really willing to give it a chance, but when I decided to finally sit down and listen to it in full, I was absolutely blown away by just the pure passion and artistry here. Sonic and Tails art is more than just a fan project. It is an unapologetic love letter for everything the series stands for. A modern miracle, if you will. I mean, just think about it. You have all of these callbacks to past Sonic stories. You have recurring VAs who haven't reprised their roles in so long. You have the original main themes of the series just at the forefront of the story, and one of the main prominent characters finally coming into their own. It's a great audio drama with a lot of passion, and hopefully I convinced some of you guys to go check it out. The link will obviously be in the description. And right now is a really good time to, because Season 2 is on the way. And also just check out Emy Jones in general. She's really cool, she's a really positive, talented individual, her music rocks. The link to her channel will also be in the description. Not that she needs a shout out from me, it's okay. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please be sure to leave a like, it really helps out, I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe for more Sonic content, I upload pretty frequently like I stated earlier. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, bye for now.